welcome back to the Lorcana YouTube channel. This is part 2 of Lorcana 101 series. Today we're going to talk about gameplay, and the link below will be the official rules. That way you can explore everything, read it on your own. I'm going to give a quick summary of how it all works, but there are a bit more complicated rules that happened at times, and I'm not going to go into every part of it. I think I'm going to pull from the Quickstart guide from this, walk you through that, and that should give you a good understanding of how the game works. And if you're trying to become more competitive in this is not the video for you. So keep that in mind with all this, okay? We're going over the basics. So I have this set up on Inktable. I'm using 2 starter decks, I think from Reign of Jafar, and this is just designed to give you a set basic gameplay for this. So that's repetitive. I won't say that again. Okay. So, reading from the official rules here, have it on the other screen. Fairly straightforward. The starting decks are going to be a 60 card deck. So if you're coming from other TCGs, especially like Magic, this should be very familiar for you. If it's not, you make a 60 card deck, buy a starter deck if you're wanting to play, and you should be good to go, okay? You will determine the player who goes first. You flip a coin, roll a die, whatever it is, right? It's not a big deal. You shuffle your deck. I think I'll probably make another video about shuffling for physical cards and how that works for playing in person. But for now, the computer, it shuffles, does randomization for you, right? Okay, until I have that set up here. You set your lore tracker to 0. We can see this on the screen here. Lore is 0 and 0. You can use all sorts of different ones that you have for it. Maybe I'll show you the ones that I like to use. I have some custom ones. We also have the Ultra Pro Lorcana deck boxes that have like the lore tracker on it. But Dr. Lotta Lorcana got me a Rockstar Stitch one with the guitar pointing towards the lore. I think she got it through Etsy, and that's my favorite one to use because, well, she got it for me, and 2, it just looks really cool. So, okay. You draw 7 cards. This is each player draws 7 cards. The computer has done that for us. We have our 7 cards here, okay? You can look at your cards in your hand. The rules specifically say not look at anyone else's. You cannot look at another player's cards during this. So, in this case, we can mulligan cards. The quick start guide says, hey, if it's your very first game, don't worry about this. You don't really know what's going on with the cards anyway, so, don't worry about it. It's fine, okay? And with starter decks, if you're playing your first time, probably don't worry about this. If you're curious about it, you would look through your cards and you would pick the ones that you don't want to have in your hand because you want something else. And there are ideas behind this. You want to have a ramp associated with it. We'll talk like what that means, be able to play cards on turns 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 right? The game can be complicated, but I think it's very approachable even for beginners, people new to tradable card games and how the rules work. So I am going to not mulligan and instead go with how they suggest playing it and be like, well, I don't know how to play the game, so I'm gonna keep all the cards. So I'm gonna select done here. Okay, I think I'm going first. Nope, I am not going first. Okay, so they are playing first, which means they do not draw a card first. So they have inked a card, which is this Trials and Tribulations. So what does inking a card mean? If you look up at where it says 2, there is that gold logo around it. That means that the card can be placed into your inkwell. So if it doesn't have that, which I think I can show here, you see how it has the same 2, but the design is different in the top left? That means the card is not inkable. It means I cannot legally place it in my inkwell. So that's what's going on in the first part. So the computer plays a bit faster. Maybe I should have set up to where I go first so I can run through a bit more slowly. I'll do that on my turn, okay? So they're going to play that, and then they play a card their first turn. So it's my turn. Okay, so since I go second, I'm on the draw. So as you can see now, I have 8 cards in my hand. Okay. Now the way it works, you have a beginning phase, and Lumineers will often say ready, set, draw. Okay. This skips all that because it's moving a little bit faster, and that's okay. So you ready by unexerting your cards. In this case, we don't have any cards exerted, so we're already done. You check for effects on cards in play that have instructions at the start of a player's turn, and you follow those instructions. We don't have any cards in play, so we're good there. Then after that happens, then we draw the card. The computer already ran through that ahead of us, and it went right to the draw step. So we draw a card. Now we're on to the main phase. And it says, once per turn, you can put a card face down into your inkwell at any time. This means you could actually, if you have in turn 4 or 5, you could play a card and then ink something else. Like maybe that card allows you to draw a card and you drew the card, you'd want to ink that one instead, right? You can pick the order of stuff, and that's kind of the nice part that I really enjoy about Lorcana, is that when you're the active player, you can control how you do everything about it. So a lot of customization, a lot of replayability with that, plus there's a lot of different cards, right? Okay, so you can also play a card. And you can play cards as long as you have ink for it. In this case, I don't have ink, so I need to get ink. So let's look through the hand that I have. We'll go through nice and slow. So I have a card that costs 3 ink to play, and it's also inkable. If you recall, in the upper left corner, it's got that design, which tells me it can be done. I have a 2 attack, 4 toughness creature. Let me see if they call it something different. Let me go back some. It is willpower. Oh, I gotta learn the terms more correctly. Years ago, decades ago at this point, I have played Magic, and so it's a little bit different. So it is, we go up here, that 2 is their strength, the 4 is their willpower. In Lorcana, characters are banished. So that's their term for it. In Magic, it might have been called something else, but in Lorcana, it's banished. So I have a 2 strength, 4 willpower creature, or character, because that's what we have here. We have characters, items, and locations, as well as actions and sub-songs. So all the different types here. It has resist +1, which means damage dealt to this character is reduced by 1. This is from any damage source that may happen to it, including challenging, which we'll get into probably in another turn or two. We can't get it to this turn, okay? And if you look at the right side, there is that little almost diamond shape. That means that's how much lore that they would quest for. You can exert your characters to quest for lore. And the goal of the game is to get to 20 lore. The first player to achieve 20 lore wins the game. So, fairly straightforward with that. So, I can't play him, so let's go to the next cards. I have 7 ink, is inkable, a 7 strength, 7 willpower, and quest for 3 lore. So if you see the difference, we have the 1 symbol, now we have 3. Powerful card, but I need 7 ink to play that, so that's not happening anytime soon. Moving on, we have 2 ink, inkable, 2 strength, 2 willpower, and can quest for 2 lore. That's not bad. I like that card. We have 3 ink, uninkable, 1 strength, 4 toughness, quest for 1 lore, and during an opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, gain 1 lore. So this is important. During challenging, on my opponent's turn, if one of my characters is banished, not including Vinny, because it says other characters, then I would gain 1 lore if that happens. Okay. We have 1 ink, inkable, a 2/1, so 2 strength, 1 willpower, 1 lore, and with the ability, where do I sign? When you play this character, you may draw a card and then choose and discard a card. I like stuff like this. This allows me to get rid of a card that I don't need while being able to draw a card that hopefully I do need. We have a repeat here, same exact thing. We have an action, so this is the first non-character that we have. It costs 2 ink, it is not inkable, and you deal 1 damage to chosen character, and then you draw a card. Pretty straightforward with that. And then we have the card we just drew, 6 ink, 7 strength, 5 willpower, quest for 2 lore. And that's it, no other abilities. So for me, I'm looking at the cards with high ink costs that I can't play anytime soon. and those are going to go into my inkwell. So I'm going to select ink card, and I will ink this. Now I have one ink available out of one total in my inkwell. I will play a card for the one ink, and then I will draw a card. It's when I play the character, I may draw a card and then choose and discard a card. So I will, yes, draw a card. I've drawn Captain Hook, one ink, inkable, 1/2, but has challenger +2. So when this character is challenging, not being challenged, he gains +2 strength. So on my turn, if I challenge with Captain Hook, he becomes a 3/2, but on the opponent's turn, he becomes a 1/2. So I do like that. I think for the discard, I think I'm going to discard Vinny. I want cards. Yeah, I would rather draw a card. So I'm going to discard Vinny. Why is that? I can play the owl next turn. This is still ink. I can play this on turn 3. This may still be ink. And I can play this early on and help kind of control the board. If they decide to quest, I can challenge, right? This is the one card where it relies on my opponent doing something, and I don't like abilities that require the opponent to activate them. I'd rather pick abilities that I control. So I am going to discard Vinny. There's nothing else I can do this turn, so I will pass the turn. The computer's going to play quick here. They're going to draw a card. They're going to quest for 2 lore and then they are showing me that they have inked this card, which is another Trials and Tribulations, and that's fine. So they played another Mirabelle. When you play this character, you may reveal a song card in your hand to gain 1 lore. Sorry, they didn't ink that card. They revealed it to gain a lore. So they're playing a song deck. They're going to have a lot of different songs they're playing. Mirabelle did the same thing, and they quested for 1. So, okay, it is my turn. I want to get rid of these, and because they attack for 0, they have 0 strength. I'm not going to take any damage on the swing back, so this should be fairly easy to clear. And I like controlling the board. So I drew a card. I drew another Mulan. Okay, that's fine. So now I have a choice here, right? I could play Captain Hook, I could play Mulan, or I could play Friend Ao, which is a 2/2 quest for 2. My thinking here is that I would like getting both of these out, because right now these Mirabelles can't really attack back, and I can control the board a bit better with these. And I can draw a card and discard a card. Right now that quick shot is not looking too valuable for me, because maybe it still is. I may get rid of like Honest John instead. I guess we'll see what we draw. I being able to draw a card with quick shot is nice, and so I like having that. I'm hoping that they play something that only has 1 willpower that I can banish pretty quickly with that. Though I do like the stitch there. If you notice the artwork, it's pretty cool. So okay, I think for the ink, doesn't change. I'm not going to play a 7 ink card anytime soon, so I got to ink. For playing the card, this does quest for 2, which is nice. I think I'll play Friend Owl. Let's get an owl out. And I'm going to challenge. So I have inked, I have played cards. The remaining thing I can do is I can either quest with Mulan. Their first turn, they cannot quest or challenge when a character comes out, which is why this is grayed out right now, unless they have an ability that allows them to. So you gotta wait. That's fine. For Mulan, I would rather challenge. Gaining 1 lore is fine. I know I'm down 3 lore to 0. I'm not too worried about that. I think the game is still manageable. So I'm going to challenge with Mulan. So I pick the character I'm designating challenging. And you cannot challenge unexerted creatures unless there's some ability that allows you to otherwise. So I can only challenge this Mirabelle that's exerted. I cannot challenge this Mirabelle over here, if you see the mouse, that is unexerted. So I will challenge this Mirabelle. I deal 2 damage to the Mirabelle. It goes to their discard, and Mulan takes no damage back because they have 0 strength, so they do no damage to me. And that is all I can do, so I will pass the turn. They quest for 1 lore with Mirabelle. They're at 4 lore. I will get rid of Mirabelle next turn. They now have 3, and they play Louis. So Louis, when this character is being challenged, the challenging character gets -1 strength. So nice way to keep him alive. You know, if I'm challenging with Captain Hook, this would normally be a 3 strength, but with against Louis, he's like, nope, you get -1 with that. I would only challenge for 2, which actually is the difference between Louis surviving and being banished. So not a bad card. Okay, I have drawn a Warhorse. Okay, that's nice. So this is apparently a very big blocking body. It'd be nice if this had Bodyguard, but maybe we'll have that ability. Bodyguard, just if they're exerted, it requires the opponent to challenge that character first. And with 7 willpower, they can take a lot of damage. So that's quite good. So for 4 inkable, not a bad card. It's a common, so I'm okay with that. Hopefully you remember what the symbols look like. I'm not covering that in this video. If you're not sure what the symbols look like, see part 1 and I'll explain all of that. So what I can do is I can use Quickstart on Louis, but I'll probably do that in another turn. So I think I will I will ink Honest John. I'll go up to 3 ink on my inkwell. I think I can either do a Captain Hook or the General. I'm okay with these cards. I think I'm going to play the General. He's got resist +1, which is good. That can work to take care of Louis a little bit, but the General on his own can't take him out because he would only attack for 1. So still, I like having a card with resist out. I think we're going to challenge with Mulan into Mirabelle. Get rid of the Mirabelle. And we're going to quest with Friend Owl because the Friend Owl, yes, has 2 strength, would have done 2 damage to Mirabelle, but quest for 2 lore. So I will instead quest for 2, whereas Mulan could only quest for 1. So a minor optimization there. Okay, so we're 4 to 2. They got a Louis. I think we're doing okay right now, so we will pass. They challenge that. They get rid of my Friend Owl, but Louis is exerted, and so now the General can actually remove Louis next turn. So, or I can use Quick Shot. So this is not bad. All right, what did they play though? So they inked another card. I don't even know what this is. This is a cool looking card. Okay, Droon, Ravenous Plague, Challenger +4. While challenging, this character gets +4. Okay, so they have something that is my Warhorse are gonna have to deal with, because they would be a 5/5 when they're challenging. That's pretty rough. So, okay. We have drawn the Matchmaker. 4 ink, inkable, 4/3. Whenever this character challenges another character, each opponent loses 1 lore. Alright, so this might be my answer to Droon. I can cause them to lose a lore, and if I can deal 1 damage to Droon, then the Matchmaker can remove them. So I think I'll probably look to play that this turn and save Quick Shot. Do I want to use... How do I want to do this? So now I'm going to have to think about this. So if I use Quick Shot, I can get rid of Louis without worrying about trying to challenge and deal with that. I would also draw a card that maybe allows me to do something, and if it's bad, then I can get rid of it with Mulan because I'd still have ink for it. Or maybe it gives me another card that I'd rather ink with. I think I'm going to do that. So rather than ink something right now, I'm going to wait to see if there's a better option to ink, and rather than challenge, I'm just going to get rid of Louis. So let's play Quick Shot. We're going to hit Louis. Louis is banished. I have drawn Lafayette. 5 ink, inkable, 7/4. Okay, so it's got some big cards in here. So I think between inking, I am probably looking at inking the Captain Hook, and and then playing the Mulan and see if I get something a little bit better. These all kind of do the same thing. So I got a 2-7, a 4-3, and a 7-4. Like the idea behind them is the same way. Like Lafayette could take care of Droon if Droon becomes exerted. So maybe I keep him. So let's before we decide on inking a card, let's play the Mulan. We are going to draw a card. Okay, so we drew another con. I don't think this really changes much for anything for us. We could discard. I don't think it matters which one we discard, whether we discard a con or we discard the Captain Hook. The other one is going to be inked. I don't think I have a need for the Captain Hook. So I'm going to discard Captain Hook and I'm going to ink con. And I don't think I want to quest. I'm hoping the AI is not very smart. They will probably quest with Droon, and then that makes Droon a very easy target to get rid of. So I'm going to just pass the turn and not quest because I don't want to expose any of my characters to a 5/5. So pass. Computer plays. They quest for one. A human opponent would not do this. They would not quest with Droon here. It doesn't make any sense to. They would just save them for when I quest. Save it for when I quest, because I don't know what. It's a plague, so save it. Yeah, save it for when I quest, and then remove one of my characters with it, okay? Alright. We have Huey. So we have Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We've seen Louie, now we've seen Huey. When this character quests, you may pay 1 ink for 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. So that's a nice little ramp. You can quest with Huey, and then if a card costs 3 ink to play, it now costs 2. It's just for the next one you play, so not a bad card. Okay, so at 5 lore to 2 lore, I have drawn Thumper. 2 ink, inkable, 0-3, but if I exert him, chosen character gets +3 strength this turn, which is actually pretty good. I like that. Okay, so I can get rid of Droon this turn, but it would cost me both Mulans. And I don't think I want to do that. I think I may just end up questing, so I just need 1 damage done to this thing, and then I can go with the matchmaker. I could also get a Lafayette. Thumper. I don't think I'm going to need a big challenger, so I think I'm going to ink Thumper because I have big cards coming out already. So do I need them to be a 10 strength? It's just not needed. So Thumper is feisty. I like it, but no. I think I am going to play... I'm going to play the matchmaker. And I don't think I want to quest all because I don't want him to lose the general. So I think I will just quest with both Mulans. Recognize that Droon can take out one of the Mulans and that Huey could take out the other if wanted. And that's fine. I can remove them on the next turn. So 4 lore to 5 lore. I'm expecting the computer Droon to remove one of the Mulans, and then the matchmaker will challenge Droon, banish them on the next turn, and then they lose the lore. So we'll see if that happens. All right, passing the turn. As I said, yeah, Droon attacks Mulan. Mulan is banished. Droon takes 2 damage, and that's fine. Not worried about it. And then Huey challenges the other Mulan. He takes 2 damage. He doesn't quest though, so they have to pay the full 5 ink to play out another magical family member, Camilo. Camilo. I think that's right. We'll see. All right, 5 ink, inkable, 4/4. When this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand. So that's an interesting one. They also quest for 2 lore. They're kind of difficult to get rid of because they can just be played again. But since they only quest for 4, I'm not too worried about it. I have drawn Thumper again. I don't think I need Thumper. So I'm gonna ink Thumper, and I'm going to play Lafayette. I will challenge with the matchmaker into Droon. they lose 1 lore. They were at 5 lore, they're at 4 lore now because this character challenges another character. Each opponent loses 1 lore. Druin is gone. So if Huey here with resist +1, Huey will only deal 1 damage to the general. I think I'm going to do that. I think I will challenge with the general into Huey. I'll take 1 damage back, but Huey will go away. Okay, and I will pass the turn. Right now they only have 1 character. I have 3. They're going to get rid of the matchmaker. Their card goes back to their hand. That's fine. I think they'll probably play it again. Yep, they do that. That'll be harder to get rid of. And I have drawn Mushu, Fast Talking Dragon, 3 ink, inkable, 2/3. I can exert him. Chosen character gains rush this turn. They can challenge the turn they're played. I'll probably do that with maybe Khan. I don't know if that does me any good. I'm not going to ink anything more because I have 6 ink. I don't necessarily need it right now. So I think I would just play. I'll just play the Mushu because why not? And I'm just going to quest all because let's just try to win some lore. And we'll see what they end up doing. We do lose Lafayette that way. That's a bit rough, but they do quest for 2. I don't know if I have a way to get rid of this. So this game may not be a game I win, but maybe no game. I think I'll just wait. Let's just wait, see what happens. They're gonna quest for 6, and they will play Poe Dispel. Yeah, 3 ink, inkable, 3/4, and for 1 lore. Okay. I have drawn the Grandmother, 2 ink, 1/1. But quest for 2, and whenever this character quests, you may give a chosen character of yours +2 challenge this turn. That could be useful for Khan, because it would get rid of the other Madrigal, which, okay. And I would quest for 2 and get rid of that. So I could at least, the taking the damage is a bit rough, but it kind of just have to deal with that. So I think I'll just play both cards. I can give 1 rush, but it doesn't really do me any good. And I don't want to lose Lafayette to this, so I'm going to pass. And hopefully we draw something that's a bit useful because we're starting to fall behind on lore, which happens. We're playing starter decks here. Okay. They quest out. They play So Much to Give. Come on, stop overwriting. It is 2 ink, inkable. A character with cost 2 or more can sing this card. So this is a song card, which means characters can actually sing it. You don't have to pay the ink cost. You draw a card and then chosen character gains Bodyguard until the start of your next turn. An opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose the one with Bodyguard if able. So this one has Bodyguard? Yeah. Yeah, this one has Bodyguard. Okay. I was going to attack that first anyway, so it's fine. Alright, I gain a 7/5. That's nice. I can just play that, which is good. I think I will quest with the Grandmother. I gain 6, or I go up to 6 lore. I will give one of my characters +2 strength. I think I will give that to Khan. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Maybe not give it to Khan. Maybe I'll give it to the general, and I can get rid of Poe while keeping the general alive. And then I can use Honest John to get rid of Camillo, because I can use Mushu to give this character rush. And if I do that, I don't lose any characters this turn. So let's do that. We're going to challenge. I'm going to take 3 damage. Oh no, I do lose. I did that wrong. That happens. I meant to challenge Poe with that. That's okay. At least they both go away, but that was not optimal. Whoops. All right, I'm going to do a card ability. You quest for 2, you quest for 1, so maybe not. Maybe I'll just, now that I messed that play up, that's fine. I'll take Lafayette and challenge Poe. I'll take 3 damage, it's fine. Get rid of that, and then I'm just gonna quest all. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fine. Not the most optimal place here. Not great, but I don't play as much. So if I win, great. But we know what card is coming back next turn. And they're going to get rid of Grandmother because the Grandmother quests for 2. That doesn't make that makes perfect sense. And then we have Bruno. So Bruno is 7 ink, uninkable, shift 5. That a shift character can be played on top of another character of the same name. So if there was a Bruno that was already out, you could play this Bruno on top of them, and it becomes this new card, but you'd only have to pay 5 ink instead of the 7 to do it. And whenever this character sings a song, you may draw a card for each character you have in play. He's 3/7 and quest for 2. So, all right, I have Captain Hook. He's got Challenger. Just gonna play the cards because what else can I do? I think I may just. So you're gonna quest. You're gonna quest. Lafayette will quest. So give me 4 lore, and then with Mushu, I'll probably give Captain Hook Rush, so he can challenge this turn. Get rid of the Huey, and the Captain Hook will go away too. So that's fine. Card ability. Give that. We'll challenge Captain Hook into Huey. Both will go away. They're banished, and we will quest all. Okay. And we go up to 12 lore. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully they only have 1 card, and we know what it is. Because we've seen it, unless they inked it for some reason. So, hopefully they don't have any songs. One thing to note when it comes to inking, you have to ink. You have to show the card that you're inking. The computer doesn't do that because the rules are that it won't allow you to ink a card that's uninkable. So on a computer, it's fine. Over the board, if you're playing in person, you will need to physically show the card that it can be inked, and then it goes into your inkwell. So, okay. Oh, we got Lafayette back. I can just play the card. Bruno has 7 willpower. Lafayette already has 1 damage associated with him. I could rush with this Lafayette and then just quest with everything else. I'm going to lose something to Drun no matter what I do. I pretty much would lose any card with that. So yeah, both cards will go away. So I guess let's do card ability. We'll give you Rush. We'll challenge. Get rid of the Bruno. And then we'll just quest down. They're at 11 lore. I think we're going to 14? 15. Can I math? I cannot math. All right, 16 lore. Okay, so we're in a good spot. We need 4 more lore to win the game. Remember, you need 20 lore to win. This is going to remove one of the cards I have, but unless they can remove 2 cards, so let's look. We can just do basic math here, right? This quest for 1, this quest for 2, this quest for 1, this quest for 1, this quest for 1, right? I assume they're going to get rid of Honest John. That's a quest for the most lore, right? Quest for 2, everything else quest for 1. But even if that's gone, quest, that's 17, 18, 19, and 20. So they got to get rid of another card of mine in order to prevent me from winning. So let's see if that happens. They attacked the Mushu. Computers don't make optimal decisions. Honestly, it didn't matter in this case, and that's fine. And they play Antonio. And Antonio is Jaguar. Not going to matter. It's not enough. Captain Hook doesn't matter. I'm just going to, what we say, just quest out. Quest all. We go to 17. We go to 18. And then we go to 20. And the game ends. And the computer likes to show that, yes, all the cards were inkable here. and obviously we know his mine were as well. So that's basic gameplay. Does it cover every interaction? No. There are other songs in there that allow you to draw more cards. There's, songs like Be Prepared that banishes all characters. There's a lot more to Lorcana, but this is the basics. This is how you would go about playing a quite simple game with friends or new people who may become friends in the future. The goal, as always, is to have fun, enjoy playing the game, and maybe if you enjoy collecting like me, you start becoming a collector as well too. But hey, this is the basics for playing a game. Oh, I said it again. That's okay. I'm not editing it out. So, okay. That's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If anything's unclear, please let me know. Happy to respond back in the comments. I'm also happy to make another video with maybe more complex interactions. I know I did a video for Turn a Dog. This is, I think, a much more simpler interaction with that. So it's really whatever people are wanting to see. I'm happy to explain it. I love talking about Lorcana. I know I'm not the best player. I still enjoy playing the game as well too. So, okay. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.